The holidays are a special time at Driscoll, a season filled with hope, gratitude, and kindness. In this episode of Hospitalk, I am talking with Stacey Hall, a Driscoll Foundation Board member whose story with Driscoll has come full circle. Her family goes above and beyond to make the holidays extra special to the kids here. Let's get right into it. Welcome to the podcast, Stacey. I'm so glad you could join us, especially during this busy time of year. I know it's incredibly busy for you all. Before we jump into your holiday tradition, take us back to where your story began with Driscoll.
My story began when I gave birth to our first daughter, Robin, in August of 1993. I had a really great pregnancy and a really incredible labor of actually an hour and 45 minutes. So thought everything was great. It was so exciting, and had her at Spawn Shoreline. And they gave us a call, and they came in, and the doctor said, I want you to know that your daughter has a little hiccup. It's not a big deal. But she was born with a hole in her heart. So the doctors came in and they talked to us, and they suggested that we were able to take her home immediately the next day. But they suggested that we go visit Dr. Billy Rios with the Driscoll Children's Hospital. So at less than a week old, we packed up our newborn daughter, and we went to see Dr. Rios. And he took a Polaroid picture of Robin. I remember that vividly because when she graduated from Dr. Rios, he took another Polaroid picture of Robin. And just the care that he gave her, the comfort that he gave us, to know that she was going to be okay, but we just needed to monitor her. And so that was our first.
How did that, being, a first-time parent and experiencing that, tell me what you were feeling in that moment.
I was deathly afraid. I wouldn't let her cry because I thought maybe her heart would explode or something weird. I had never had that happen. I never knew anything, a child that had a heart defect or anything that was wrong with them. And so I was just looking at her. She looked normal. She looked like there was nothing wrong, but knowing that there was something. And then Dr. Rios was just like, everything's going to be okay, Mama. Everything's going to be okay. And he did a sonogram of her little heart, and he had a mobile just hanging above her. And it was so cool to watch. And the calm that he gave us, the peace that he gave us, the relying on our faith that Dr. Rios was put in our life for a reason when Robin was born. And she was he watched her. He would practice. We would practice with her. Each time we would have to come see him to do another sonogram of her little heart.
So we would rub the little, we would practice. We would rub a little object over her chest so she would learn to lay really, really still. And so that was at 6 months and 1 year and 2 years. And we would just keep going each year to go visit Dr. Rios. So,
wow. How old was she when she finally graduated from that care?
So our last visit, she was turning 5. And so we experienced that from birth to 5. And he warned us. He said, now look, we can literally see it's closing. It's trying to. It looked like a mesh on a screen on a window. And it was slowly closing. And each year it would close a little bit more and a little bit more. And so he said, now, if it's not closed by the time she turns 5, then we would need to do surgery to help her body close. But we went in, she was 5, and it had healed on its own. And that was just wonderful. But she was 5. So
that's amazing, and such a miracle that it closed up on its own without the need of surgery.
It was.
So tell us where Robin is today, and is she healthy and great?
Robin is great. She's a 32-year-old mom of a 2-year-old little girl who went we did testing on Madeline to make sure that she wasn't going to be born with the possible same hole in her heart like her mother. So that was wonderful to get to know that. But Robin's great. She's always been since day one. She's been happy and healthy and running and just a miracle.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. And I know you have another daughter who also has been treated by Driscoll. Tell us about that.
So Catherine is our second daughter. And when she was in junior high, she loved sports. And that comes after her daddy, who was a big sports guy. But she loved sports. And her knee kept popping out. So she would have this, she would be running and all of a sudden her knee would pop. And then she'd run again and her knee would pop out. And she would just put it right back in, and it hurt a little bit, but she'd keep going. So she was 2014. So she was a junior in high school. And she was pole vaulting, which was her love and her sport, that along with basketball. And one day she was out at the track in February of 2014, and she popped her knee out. And that was it. It did some really permanent damage to her. So we came to Driscoll. We came to the rehab part and got to meet with doctors, and they did some scans and they did some x-rays and determined that she needed some extensive surgery on her knee.
Wow.
So yeah, our second big adventure with Driscoll.
Wow. And just at such a young age, before, all of these, incredible sports moments and journeys, to have that halted, how did that make you feel as a parent? And what were Catherine's reactions to that?
Was really, really tough.
Yeah.
Catherine had committed to pole vaulting. We were driving 3 days a week, 4 hours round trip to get personalized training. This was something that was generational in our family. Her grandfather was a pole vaulter in college. Her father was a pole vaulter in college. Her cousins, this was a big deal to her. It was what she enjoyed doing. She had won district her sophomore year, and February before her main time, it happened, and she was never to pole vault again. Wow. She could not kneel, and I remember going to church and taking communion, and her dad and I would kneel, and she would stand behind us, and it was tough. It was really, really tough.
As a mom, it's hard to see your kids, more so than yourself, it's hard to see your kids go through that kind of pain and that kind of suffering, even if it's temporary.
Correct.
But to especially watch their goals and their future vision that they had for themselves kind of be derailed. You hold such a strong faith, and I imagine that's what got you through a lot of that time, you and your family.
It did. Catherine, now at 28 years old, says, Mom, that was the closest I ever got to God. I talked to him like he was my best friend because I needed a best friend and I needed something to replace that. And her compassion that she has for others with possible disabilities or people that get hurt physically and mentally is amazing. And she now can do a lot of things. Her knee healed great. It's phenomenal. We're going to go skiing for the first time. She hasn't been skiing since her knee got hurt, but we're going skiing in February. So it ought to be really, it's good. It's going to be an amazing moment to get to watch her and how it changed, how her life has changed and how wonderful it's going to be.
Well, I'm so glad that both your girls are doing amazing. And Robin has a daughter of her own now. I love that. And I love that for your family.
Yes.
So one of the things that your family does that is so incredibly special to the families here at Driscoll, to the staff here at Driscoll, is you make the holidays an overwhelmingly excitable, enjoyable time. You create memories for families by stocking our HEB Play Market in our rehabilitation department. Tell us about that and how you got that started, where the idea came from.
Well, thank you, Whitney, because it's an amazing, it's my favorite thing that we do. My favorite thing we do all year long. It's my favorite thing that we do as a family. And so the year that Catherine got hurt in 2014, she had a really hard time coming back and seeing other children that had a lot more pain than what she was experiencing. She kept saying, "Mama, I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. You know, I can walk. I think I'm okay, Mama. I can do this." So we kind of challenged her in what way that she could give back to kind of make her message, if that makes sense. So in 2014, we figured out that there was a way that we could give gifts and toys to the Driscoll Rehab, which is where Catherine had gone. And knowing that there was the HEB market, knowing there were these incredible shelves that were already there, and thinking, how can we make this into something fun for the kids? And they're going through these treatments and they're going through rehab, and it's so hard sometimes. And Catherine would cry when she was at rehab just because it was hard and it was a struggle. And so what could we do that made it so much excitement for these kids? So anyway, we turned in, we would go buy all these gifts, and we bought all these toys for kids, and we lined them up on the shelves so that they could see and they could choose the toy that they wanted. And Robin would have always chosen a doll. That was her favorite thing. She loved dolls. She wanted to be a mommy. Catherine would have chosen Lincoln Logs and Play-Doh and anything that she could build with, any kind of game she could do. So we just went and we started buying toys, and we get to still do that even 12 years later.
I love that. And you are the personal shopper for all these toys. Tell me how many toys you bought last year for those HEB shelves.
I think it was a little over 800.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's so much fun. So we go to the store and I get to just start. And, you know, Driscoll gives me the list. You have this many 2-year-olds, you have this many 3-year-olds, this many 12-year-olds, this many 18-year-olds. And not knowing exactly what they want, I just get to shop and buy anything they want. And I buy a lot of what I thought my kids would like. I buy a lot of what my granddaughter likes. And, but to watch the people at HEB, because, you know, every gift comes from HEB. So they come to me and they're like, "What are you doing? Like, do you have that many grandchildren?"
Right.
I'm like, "No, I wish, but I don't have 800 grandchildren." But, and they want to know what it's for. And so getting to tell them it's for Driscoll, they are overwhelmed. They are like, "Oh, that's a great idea. I didn't think about that." And so hopefully it'll make them want to give back and want to do things for others.
How long does it take you to pick out and buy 800 Christmas gifts?
Oh, my word. I go at different times. So I go multiple times, mainly because it's overwhelming. I get very emotional. Sometimes it's when you're buying 800 toys, it also doesn't all fit in my Suburban. I lay everything down in my Suburban, just the driver's seat's able, but it's still a lot more toys than what will happen. So probably about 4 different times. I also don't want to overwhelm one HEB by taking 800 of their toys. So, but everyone is touched. Everyone is prayed for. Everyone is loved before it's ever put in the cart, because every child, that toy is going to a child in our community. And that's so special. And it just makes Christmas for our family.
Yeah, I know, having been a part of this for the last couple of years, it really is one of my favorite days at Driscoll, that I look forward to being there and just being a fly on the wall, watching these kids get to go in and choose the gift that they want. Is there a moment in all of these years of doing this that sticks out the most to you?
Oh, yeah. One year was during COVID, and there was a little girl here that was on a ventilator. And it made it so real of what COVID was, and so real that a child was that sick. But she came and she got to, we all cleared out so that she was really the only one that was there. And we made sure that she was safe always, but that she got to choose the toy that she wanted. And it's so funny to watch the kids, because sometimes their moms will say, or their dads will say, oh, what about this when you like this? But think about it. Like, how often are you able to go into a store with 800 different items and pick anything you want? There's not a price tag on that.
Yeah.
They don't have to say, oh, this is, too much money. They get to choose anything in there. And so to watch that little boy pick something he wants, or that little girl to walk around and 3 times, 4 times, 5 times to pick the exact toy that they want. It is just, it's wonderful. It's magical. It's Christmas.
It is. It really is. Is there a age group that you struggle with the most on selecting toys for?
Yes, my older ones, my older teens is really hard. My older teens is hard. I'm not sure if they are the ones like Catherine, who had a sports injury. I'm not sure if getting them a soccer ball would make it harder on them.
Sure.
I look at games. I look at, some of our rehab kids aren't able to walk. Some are not able to speak. So, it might be a really soft, squishy stuffed animal, or it might be a blanket, so that they can also have something. And so, my bigger ones are my hardest, because I want them to love everything. My 2 to 5 year olds are the fun.
They're fun. They're
so
easy to
much
shop
fun. They
for,
love
right?
everything. Yeah.
And your granddaughter Madeline got to participate last year.
Madeline got to participate
I love
last
that.
year as a almost 1.5 year old. She got to help, and that was so much fun. Of course, she wanted to play with all the toys.
Yeah.
She wanted to sweep, and she wants to use the little cart for HEB. But this year she'll be almost 2.5.
Okay.
So she gets to come and be the third generation to
love
donate, and that's a big deal to her mom and dad. That she learned at a very early age what giving back means.
Yeah.
We've been entrusted with a lot, and it is our job to make it just a little bit easier on others.
Yeah, I love that. What does it mean for your family to all come together at this time of year to do something so incredible, and then to also pass down, like you said, that generational aspect of philanthropy with them?
Well, both of my girls and our son-in-laws have lived out of state. So Robin and Ethan in Michigan for a while, and Catherine and Aaron in Georgia. And we give up Christmas Day so that our kids can be here for Driscoll. They come early, and we get to have our Christmas early. We get to have it at Driscoll, and then we get to have it at home. And then they go back to their in-laws and get to have Christmas with them. And when I asked them, I said, girls, like, what is the most important? And they're like, it's more important that we're all at Driscoll together. So we talked as a family this last week, and Rob has missed one of the 12. Because they had a water boil in Corpus Christi one day. And so Rob could not be here, and neither could his HEB team that goes and helps us put things on the on the list. Robin 1 year was in Michigan and couldn't fly in. Catherine 1 year and Aaron were in Georgia and had an incident with their home and were unable to come. But I've been here every year. And I thought they were doing it for me. And they're not. They're doing it. Both of our girls said they want to continue it long after their dad and I are no longer here. So that's pretty special.
That is. That's incredible that you've passed that down to them, but too that they want to instill that in their kids and keep that giving going. I know it is such a magical day for everybody in the rehabilitation department. When that day comes, we're excited for it to be here.
It's a wonderful day, and we've teamed up with HEB every year for 12 years, and it's made it really, really special. HEB has given us an incredible life, and we are very thankful. And HEB has done so much with this community and still giving back. And so we're able to partner with them, and it makes it just incredible.
I love that. Tell us a little bit, because we've talked about HEB. Tell us what your connection is with HEB. For those who don't know, they're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What? HEB?
So my husband, Rob, is the regional vice president of the Gulf Coast region. So he runs 36 stores in this area, and he's worked for HEB for 36 years. And it's our life.
Yeah.
We came back to Corpus, and this is where Mr. Butt used to live and raised a family, and this is where we are now. So HEB's been very good to us.
They are a wonderful partner for the hospital, both in our rehab department at the holiday time, but just in general with everything that we do philanthropically. I know that little play market down there, the kids love it, even when it's not decked out with toys.
Yes.
Throughout the year, they love that market. It's such a great tool for children in rehab to come through, practice their speech therapy, practice occupational therapy, do their fine motor skills of picking out items and pushing a cart around. And so we're grateful to you all and to HEB for all that you do year round.
Yeah. It's a great little store. I mean, it looks like a true HEB.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I was told years ago was that, when they started doing rehab for kids, not everyone had certain things in their home that other people had in their home, but everyone has an HEB. And so that was very easy for them. And I know with my granddaughter now, I mean, her first words, HEB. She can say it. She loves to go to the grocery store. She loves to find things off the shelf, and she sees red and she goes, HEB, HEB. And that is one of their words that they learn. And so every rehab kid that comes in there knows what an HEB is. We have them all around their neighborhoods, and it's their common thing. It doesn't matter if they're rich or poor or sick or well.
Yeah.
Everybody has one, and it makes that little store there just incredible for rehab for our kids.
It does. And it's so true. I have to share something so funny. So my daughter, you know how they do the little, at Mother's Day, all about mom at school? Well, every year it says, mom's favorite place to go. And she always puts HEB as my favorite place to go. And I'm like, yeah, we'll go with that. Sure.
Absolutely.
We'll go with that. I love it. Okay, Stacey, so aside from your role as obviously a grateful family, you've had 2 daughters who have received care at Driscoll. You give back every year through this amazing holiday experience. You also serve on our foundation board. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of what inspired you to join us.
Well, yes, I'm on your foundation board. I think this is my 3rd year. It's been incredible. At first, I'll be honest with you, when they called and asked me, I was like, oh, you need to speak with Rob at HEB. And they're like, no, we don't want to speak. We already do stuff with HEB, but we want you. And I'm like, wait, why? Why do you want me to come? And the answer was because you love Driscoll, and you know what Driscoll can do. And you know what Driscoll does for the children of this community. And you know what it's like to be a mom who's had a child at Driscoll. And you know what it's like to need a hospital. And so when they asked me if I would do this, I was like, wow, I don't feel qualified. But I think I can do something. I think I can make life just a little bit easier for someone else. And so being on the board, I learned so much. And we moved to Victoria about 2.5 years ago, and there's a Driscoll, there's a clinic in Victoria. And so now I get to promote that in the Victoria area, plus ask people, hey, we are a nonprofit. We do need your help. Mm-hmm. We are trying to make sure that every child is taken care of, and could you help us out? So anyway, as much as I didn't think I was qualified, I am honored to be on it, and it has been a joy, an absolute joy to serve Driscoll.
How has having that sort of role, being on the foundation board, getting, kind of a behind the scenes look in some ways, changed your perspective or your thinking of Driscoll's mission and impact?
I always knew Driscoll was the leader, but to hear nationally where we rank, to hear how many surgeries we do, to see how many children's lives are saved, and improved by Driscoll. Going in and going to the board meetings and getting the stats on how things are is amazing. Watching videos of a 25-week-old baby whose life was saved is incredible. Finding out that, a life-saving surgery on a child, and 10 years later they're walking around. It's absolutely incredible. And I don't think people realize what a gem they have just here in Corpus Christi, that we will fly your baby here and give them the absolute best care that is ever given. We're nationally known. We're renowned. It's incredible. It's incredible to see what Driscoll does every single day for all the children, not just here in Corpus Christi, but also in the Rio Grande Valley, Laredo, Victoria, Port Lavaca, everywhere.
How does the care from Robin's, your first experience here at Driscoll, seeing Dr. Rios and the Heart Center, what it was 32 years ago, to now what the Heart Center is? I know you walked it with our foundation board probably before we even opened it.
Yes.
Tell us the difference and that level of care growth that you've seen.
It's amazing. She was laying on this teeny tiny little table, wrapped up in a blanket with her arms behind her and a little mobile hanging over her in the darkness so that he could keep her still, keep her quiet, keep her calm. And you look at the center now, and we're able to serve so many more children. And the equipment that we have, and the way that they're able to look at these babies. And for instance, the table didn't move in 1993. Now the table moves, and they're able to not move that baby. They're able to move the table. And it just makes so much easier to see them. And the equipment that the doctors have now is just, it is renowned. It's unbelievable, the difference between 1993 and 2025.
Well, it takes obviously a village to support, a community to support our mission and our vision for where we're going. You are part of that as part of our foundation board. In closing, kind of as we wrap up, for anybody at home that is spending the holidays in the hospital, what is your message for them?
That they are not alone. That the staff here, the faith that they have, the incredible ability that they have to take care of not only your child, but you as a mom or you as a dad. That is what Driscoll's here for. They are this incredible family. And yeah, it might be the holidays, but they're going to make sure that you're loved, you're cared for, all your needs are met, your child is loved. There will be gifts for your child. I mean, even in the rehab, that's what's going to happen at Christmas. Yeah, it's hard to not be at home, but you'll have a family and a family of faith here that will be here to pray with you and to love you and to take care of your child.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for those that you have inspired by your generosity and your giving back, what do you say to them to encourage them to do the same?
Well, you will never understand the level of joy that you get when you give back. It is to see a child and to see that made their life just a little bit easier by what you gave, what you donated, the time that you gave. It really is. It is. The person that is giving receives so much more than the person that's receiving. And I believe that's communion. It's a communion of faith. And that's what we're supposed to do. We are supposed to make it a little bit easier on our neighbors.
Well, I love that. I'm so looking forward to this year's holidays at our HB Market. Thank you so, so much, Stacey, for your support on our board, for your involvement with Driscoll, for sharing your story with us, sharing your heart with us, and also for, giving back in such an incredible magical way. I know it means so much to all of the kids. So thank you so much for
Well,
your
you're
time.
welcome, Whitney. Thank you. It's a wonder. I just love it. I love every bit of it. It's so much fun, and I get to go shopping.
Okay, shopping kicks off soon.
Absolutely.
Stacey's Tahoe is going to be packed.
It's going to be ready to go. 800 toys.
I love it.
It'll be wonderful.
Thank you, Stacey.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Whitney.
it.
Hi, I'm Stacey Hall, and if you were inspired by my story of my daughters at Driscoll Children's Hospital and the giving that we now give as a family, I ask that you just reach out to driscollchildren.org. It's our website. There's a tab for giving, and I promise you, you will not regret it. Giving back to Driscoll is such a joy, and it makes the lives of each of these children just so much better.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Hospitalk. For more inspiring stories like Stacey's, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media, and have a wonderful holiday season.